And we welcome you back to Durham Field for Game 2 of our doubleheader today between Lenoir-Rhyne and Goldey-Beacom. The Bears Sports Network is always presented by MBA Roofing. Bears have been dominant through the first 2 games of this series, including a 10-run win in Game 1, 16-6. As we now take a look at our starting pitching matchup in Game 2, Austin Edwards, the transfer from Western Illinois. His numbers on the right are from his first start. Picked up a win down at Emmanuel, 3.60 ERA, 4 strikeouts to 2 walks. And Mitch Guerreri's 2021 numbers are on the left, 3-1 record, 2.88 ERA. Opponents hit just over 220 against him, 25 strikeouts to 11 walks. As we recap who really excelled at the plate in Game 1 for both sides, and it's kind of a no-brainer for the Bears. Wade Kuda has been all-world in this series, has 8 RBIs, including 3 hits, a 3-run home run, and a double in that Game 1. And Connor Meganson had a nice day at the plate, 4 for 4, drove in a run, got on base every single time. As we take a look at the final box from Game 1, 16 runs for the Bears, 14 hits. Goldey-Beacom did rack up 11 hits, all of them singles, as the Bears pitching in the first 2 games in this series has struck out 15 batters in each of the games, and the Bears themselves at the plate struck out 11 times. Each team committed 1 error in that first game. So the Bears will look to roll here in Game 2 as we take a look now at the Goldey-Beacom starting lineup against Austin Edwards. Just a couple of changes. Demetrius Johnson moves up to the leadoff spot. He'll play center field. 2, 3, and 4 are the same. Maxwell Autry, who moves behind the plate here for Game 2 after DHing Game 1. Musi always will be at cleanup and at first base. Meganson, who had the 4-hit game in Game 1, batting 5th at second. Mike Baginski, who had a pinch hit at bat late in the game in Game 1, will DH. Marlon Lindsay out in left, Griffith in right, and Cole Fowler, who didn't play in Game 1 but started yesterday at third base, gets another start at third base for the Lightning, who had some good things happen for him offensively there in that first game of the day, but it was just too little too late. They got all 6 of their runs in the 7th inning or later, and by that point, the game was essentially over. The way the Bears jumped ahead and never really looked back. The grand slam from David Bell in that one as well. So the Bears will look to at least claim a series win here in this game. We were just cruising along through 7, and then the last 2 innings took quite a while as both teams scored a bunch of runs in those 2 innings, but it looks like we are ready to roll here in Game 2. Glad you are along with us. 18 innings of baseball today from Durham Field. Glad to bring it to you, and glad you're with us to watch the Bears look for their now 7th win on the season. Austin Edwards making his Durham Field debut and starts it with a swing and a pop-up shallow center field. Laskowski, the second baseman, backs up, gets called off, and it bounces and lands in front of Kuda. Not a good start defensively for LR. Looked like Laskowski had a beat on it, and then at the last moment, Kuda called him off and couldn't catch it. So Johnson awarded a hit on that misplay there by the Bears defensively. Now Mason Maxwell, who got a triple about 30 minutes ago in real time for his first hit of the season, digs in and looks at a breaking ball for a called strike. This is a guy, Edwards, that this coaching staff thinks definitely could have a professional baseball career. Fastball's in the mid-90s when it's humming. Off-speed stuff is plus. And the 0-1. There's the fastball. little bit low and inside. Ball on a strike. Edwards, they didn't have his very best stuff in his first start down at Emmanuel. Battled through 5 innings and earned the win. So he'll check over at first base on Demetrius Johnson. Nothing happening. Playing 2 on the turf today. A little bit of cloud cover here as we move into the late afternoon in Hickory. That one handcuffed him off the leg of Maxwell. Foul, ball and 2 strikes. Mason 1 for 5 with a triple in the first game. And the 1-2 pitch. Flared foul out of play. Edwards, who's affectionately known as Eddie by his teammates. Just a big, imposing presence on the mound. He and Lanham are kind of the same way, who you saw pitching for the Bears in Game 1. Perino can't hold on to that one. I think Johnson would have been back safe either way. And Edwards will reset. A ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Chopped foul again. Maxwell fighting hard and stays alive. Outfield straight up. Ynesta creeps towards the bag at third base. The 1-2 again. Flies high, 2-2. Johnson a pretty big lead at first base. Full count. Off-speed pitch stays up. Johnson was 3 for 3 stealing bases a year ago. He was more of a role player last year for Goldey-Beacom, but in 3 games has been the center fielder in all 3, so looks like they are hoping he takes that next step. They've actually changed the hit by Johnson to an error. Maxwell rips that one foul towards his own dugout as Demetrius Johnson was on the move on that pitch. The count is full, 3-2. They gave Kuda the error for that misplay. The ball did hit his glove. Johnson barely safe. You can tell he wants to run. He did run on the previous pitch. Edwards trying to win the battle with Maxwell. Runner goes again. Pitch is low, ball 4. Good at-bat for Mason Maxwell to fight back. And the first 2 men are aboard here in the top of the first for Goldey-Beacom. Edwards doing his grad program here at LR. Native of Huxley, Iowa. 6'3", 215 pounds. Last year at Western Illinois was the Summit League preseason pitcher to watch. Only ended up pitching 14 innings in 13 games. As Autry watches a slider find the zone for a called strike. Autry one for 3 with a sac fly and a single as Edwards grooves the fastball past him 0-2. Going to try to get Joshua Lanham on the broadcast today after he pitched in Game 1. Talk with him for half an inning, as well as Coach Ramirez, as always, in the top of the 4th inning. Had a great chat in Game 1 where had a pretty action-packed inning. Autry watches a fastball down and away. Clarno likes the location, the catcher for the Bears. He didn't play in Game 1. Gets the start behind the dish in Game 2. Edwards having to work hard here in the top of the 1st. Just a big man on the mound. Looking to put the final stamp of his college career here in his 3rd stop. Started at Ellsworth Community College, then Western Illinois. And now here in Hickory as a grad transfer. 2-2 on Autry. More of a relief guy in his previous stops, and the Bears really want him to be their 3rd weekend starters. Autry rips that grounder foul just past the Bear dugout beneath us. Glad you're with us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon for baseball in Hickory. Modest lead off second for Johnson. 2-2 pitch. Full count again. This is the top of the Goldey-Beacom lineup that really did struggle in Game 1. Autry and Maxwell finally got it going a little bit late, but it was too little too late at that point. But stringing together some better at-bats here in the 1st inning against Edwards. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Edwards wins the battle with Autry, and that's a big out number 1 here in the 1st. So now Musey, so it doesn't get any easier here for Edwards. Garrett, the cleanup hitter, 2 for 5 in Game 1, scored a run. Those were his first hits of the season as Edwards bends in a breaking ball for a called strike. Wearing the black stirrups along with the rest of the Bears. This is maybe my favorite uniform combo that the Bears have. Something about black and white that really makes everything pop. Pop up a mile in the air right field. David Bell camps under it, makes the play. 2 outs. Bell threw Musey, the man that just hit that ball, out at third base from just about that spot in the first game. But Johnson thinks wiser of running there. 2 outs. Should be 3 outs because of the error that allowed Johnson to reach. It's a misplay in shallow center field between Laskowski and Kuda. And now Meganson, who you saw in the pregame graphic, went 4 for 4 in game 1. 4 singles. First pitch zips high for ball 1. Their offense is 21 runs in the first 2 games of this series. Outscored Goldey-Beacom 21-6. There's a strike at the knees. A ball and a strike. If Edwards can live there, talked with Derek Beasley before game 1 about his 2 starting pitchers today. Fastball command at the bottom of the zone, and Lanham was able to accomplish that. Pitched 6 shutout innings. Edwards has had good stuff here in the first inning. Just lost the handle on. Back here at Durham Field, Mitch Guerreri, starting pitcher for Goldey-Beacom, warming up. And now let's take a look at the 9 that he will be facing for the Bears. Couple of small tweaks. Kuda, Laskowski, Unesta, top 3 remain the same. Clarno slots into the cleanup role as he'll catch after not playing in game 1. Perino stays at first base, moves up a slot to 5th. Attile's down to 6th at shortstop. Matt Mackey gets the start at DH in game 2 here in the 7 hole. Preseason first team all-SAC performer. David Bell, who hit the grand slam in game 1 and also threw a man out at third back in right. And Brett Urey, who came in late in the end of game 1 in left field, gets the start here in game 2. So Mitch Guerreri, the 6'1", 205-pound senior from Greentown, Pennsylvania. This is his 5th year pitching for Goldey-Beacom. Last year was the best year of his career. 6 appearances, 34 1/3 innings, 3-1 record, 2.88 ERA. Anytime you get the ERA south of 3, you're doing something right. Goldey-Beacom desperately needs a strong start from him to get some of their mojo back after they've been taken to the woodshed in games 1 and 2 of this series. And Wade Kuda, the hottest man on the planet right now at the plate, watches ball 1 a little bit high. 3 home runs yesterday. Followed that up with finishing a triple short of the cycle in game 1 today, including a 3-run home run. He's ahead 2-0 as Guerreri's missed high with the first 2 fastballs. (3-0). Oh, nope, 2-1. It's a strike on a slider right at the very top of the strike zone. 2 balls and a strike. Got to give some credit to the umpires. They changed quickly. Normally, both teams are ready to play and are waiting on the umpires to get back, but because the last few innings of game 1 really kind of dragged, I think the umpires had a big sense of urgency, so they got out here fast, and we got rolling pretty quickly after the end of game 1. Full count on Kuda. Wade trying to get on to start. Stays alive. Changeup there from Guerreri. Took a lot off of that pitch, and all Kuda could do was tip it back to the screen. We'll do it again at 3-2. And they switching out the baseball. Wind has picked up a touch. Not really too much of a factor. There was hardly any wind in game 1. Kuda waves and misses. Went after ball 4, I think, there. And is the first out of the bottom of the first. So a rare out made by Wade Kuda. That's only the second time this series he's gotten out So the game of failure that baseball is, that's pretty remarkable. Laskowski now. Ball 1. 0 for 4 with a walk. Pardon me, 0 for 3 with a walk in game 1 for Cole. Just a touch low, 2-0. So Laskowski, 286, 8 for 28 to start through the first 7 games of 2022 and the 2-0. Down and away, 3 balls, no strikes. Ynesta on deck. Saw his 6-game hitting streak to start the season broken in the first game. Did score 2 runs and draw a walk. And not only a 6-game hitting streak, Ynesta had gotten multiple hits in every game, not just one. Here's a strike to Laskowski, 3-1. Strike 2. 3-1 is such a weird count because you know that the pitcher wants to throw a strike, but you also don't want to swing at a borderline strike and make an easy out. So I think 3-1 is a more challenging count as a hitter than some people give it credit for. It doesn't matter for Laskowski as he hits the 3-2 pitch straight back up the chute for the first base hit of the game for LR. So Laskowski gets his first hit of today's doubleheader. And now Ynesta, who, as I mentioned, not only had a 6-game hitting streak to open the season, 6-game multi-hit streak. First slider from Guerreri misses a touch inside to Ynesta. Going to dive a little bit more into Guerreri's season next time the Bears are up. 2-0, high and wide. Ynesta, very back of the box, as far back as you can be. Foot right on the chalk. There's a strike right at the belt buckle, 2-1. Probably about as high as you can go in the zone there. Half-hearted throw over to first there as Laskowski was leaning. 1 stolen base in his only attempt this year for Cole. Another slider. Guerreri's got to be careful because he keeps missing with that off-speed stuff high. And eventually one of those is going to be in the zone, and there's probably going to be a Bear ready for it. So if you're going to miss, if you're Guerreri, got to miss low or away. 3-1. Runner goes. Pitch is down. Ball 4. So back-to-back base runners here for the Bears. The single by Laskowski. Now the walk to Ynesta, who still is getting on base about 50% of the time. And the first plate appearance of the day for Mr. Nick Clarno, the heartbeat of this team. Even though he didn't play in the first game, you could still hear him the entire time. Being loud, making noise. And now back behind the dish in game 2. 375, 6 for 16. upstairs, ball one. So Guerreri pretty consistently now, I think there's enough of a sample size to say, missing with most of his pitches high in the zone. Bears doing well to not go after him. Breaking ball almost clips his left elbow as he leans out of the way, 2-0. Laskowski at second, singled. Ynesta at first, walked. Outfield deep and shaded slightly for Clarno to pull. There's a back pick to first, and he's safe. Would have been out, but I think Musi dropped the ball over there. But a heck of a job behind the dish there by Autry to put that thing on the money. And Ynesta lucky that Musi wasn't able to hold on to it. So Lindsey, Johnson, Griffith, the three outfielders. Fowler, Maxwell, Meganson, Musi. The infield from left to right. Autry behind the dish. Guerreri on the mound. 3-0 pitch to Clarno. There's a strike. 3-1. It's another one of those 3-1, you don't want to call them predicaments. But it's ball four, down and away. Good eye from Clarno, loads him up for Anthony Perino. So immediately here in game two, after the Bears put up 16 runs in game one, immediately a threat here in the bottom of the first inning of game one is a visit from the pitching coach, Matt Trait, makes his way out. Perino had a good game at the dish in game one. Got hit by a pitch twice, walked, singled, scored 2 runs. He and Mackey will share first base duties this season for the Bears. Mackey wasn't in the lineup in game one, but DHing here in game two. He's in the hole now with Perino up and Atiles on deck. Laskowski, Ynesta, and Clarno, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters on the base pass. Perino looking to jump the Bears out in front early here in game two of this doubleheader. Also a 9-inning game. We're playing 2 9s today. Edge of the back of the box for Anthony. Slider on the outer half for a called strike. Perino definitely had one of the more exciting moments in all of Division II college baseball this season. Walk-off 3-run home run here on Tuesday night. Pinch hit on his first swing of the day. First swing of the day today is a fly ball right field. Should be deep enough to score Laskowski. Griffith makes the catch. Here comes Laskowski, and he's in without a slide. So job done there for Anthony Perino. Sac fly and an RBI. And LR scores first here in game two. It's 1-0 Bears. That's right there exactly what Chris Ramirez wants to do more of this year. Last year he feels like they were too reliant on the home run. Now, obviously this year the home runs have come in bunches, especially here at home, but he wants them to be a more scratching claw, get a base hit, the man on second base, get a bleeder through type offense. As Atiles rips one down the line, just foul. Outside the left field foul line by about 4 or 5 feet. Guerreri really dodged a bullet there because Clairno was already almost to second base when that thing landed. Good game for Lewis in game 1. 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Coaching staff hopes that he turns in to the everyday shortstop. Here's a line drive right at Maxwell on one hop. Has to hurry and makes a perfect throw to retire the side. So limited damage for the Bears against Guerreri, who does well to pitch out of it. Just the sac fly for Anthony Perino opens the scoring here in Game 2 on the Bears Sports Network.
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
Bit of run support for Austin Edwards as we roll here top second. Sac fly RBI for Anthony Perino in the bottom of the first inning. Gives the Bears the first tally on the scoreboard here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Mike Baginski leads things off with a swing and a foul straight back. Mike, who pinch hit late in Game 1. For 1 on the year. First start of the season for him. Beautiful breaking ball from Edwards down at the knees. Quickly 0-2. Edwards trying to be a little bit more efficient here. Baginski, I think, took that one right out of Clairno's glove and fouled it off. That's about as late as you can possibly be. Edwards threw 20 pitches in that first inning, so trying to cut down on that here in the second. 1-2. Walk and a pair of strikeouts in that first inning for Edwards in the 1-2. Picks up his third strikeout. It's like maybe a cutter there, something with late movement down towards the ankles of Baginski. And 1 gone here in the second. Marlon Lindsay, the left fielder, played a good left field in game one. Pulls his head out of there and has a big miss for strike one. Didn't have a memorable day at the plate in game one. 3 strikeouts, 0 for 4 overall. And now is quickly down 0-2. Big change of speed there. I would guess that was a 10 to 15 mile per hour difference between those first 2 pitches from Austin Edwards. And here comes the 0-2. Downstairs, 1-2. Clarno been very happy with Edwards' pitch placement with 2 strikes thus far. The 1-2 this time. Same deal, 2-2. Lindsay barely stays alive that time. Back to the screen. Marlon transferred from Arkansas Little Rock to Goldey-Beacom and has now fought things back to a full count. Edwards trying to be a little bit more efficient here in this second inning. Especially now that his team put up a run on the board offensively. This is a dribbler to second base on 2 hops. Laskowski right on the edge of the turf. 2 outs. So now, Dalen Griffith starting in right field for the second game of the doubleheader. Slider right above the kneecaps for a called strike. Good game 1 for Dalen, 2 for 4. Part of an 11-hit effort for Goldey-Beacom, all singles. This is a high chopper to third. Yanesta backs up, has to hurry, and he's safe. Probably should have tried to charge that one on the first big hop. That second step back allows Griffith to beat it out. It's an infield single for Goldey-Beacom, their first hit of game 2. Remember that first play off the bat of Demetrius Johnson was scored an error on Kuda in center field instead of a hit for Demetrius. So now the 9-man Cole Fowler, who started the season opener for Goldey-Beacom last night at third base, didn't play in game 1, but back on the hot corner in game 2. Slider upstairs, ball 1. Last night's game was Fowler's collegiate debut. Got a big knock late. Was stranded on third base. One of 2 times as that one gets past Clarno to the backstop. And Griffith moves up to second. But 2 times in the game last night, Goldey-Beacom left the bases loaded. They left 11 men on base in total. Left 9 men on base in game 1. Lost by 10. 3-0 on Fowler. Edwards trying to fight back to the 9-man and cannot. 4-pitch walk to Fowler. And for the second inning in a row, Goldey-Beacom has put 2 men on base here against Edwards. They were obviously held off the scoreboard in the first, but now the lineup card turns over. Demetrius Johnson, leadoff man who forced that error on Kuda to start the game, gets his second chance here in the second inning. Good stop by Clarno as Edwards spikes that slider for ball one. So 20 pitches in the first inning and 18 pitches here in the second for Edwards. So especially early in the season, that's not a recipe to stay in games for terribly long. LR was able to get 6 innings out of both of their starters in the first two, Patrick and Lanham. Touch off the plate, apparently, with that slider, 2-0. Here he comes, 3-0, and now things unraveling command-wise here for Edwards here in the top of the second. Still yet to give anything up, but has had to work really hard for everything that he's gotten so far. Holds the baseball in his glove. He starts him all with a strike. Defense straight up. Maxwell's triple was to left center field at the end of the last game, behind Johnson. Laskowski the same at second. 1-1. 2-1 as that almost hits Maxwell's back leg there in the left-handed batter's box. He and Clarno share a laugh. 2-1. Edwards trying to pitch himself out of this jam. Bears have come up big on the mound in these situations all weekend long. Rocked foul down the third base line. More of a excuse me swing there from Maxwell. Probably not trying to do anything with that other than foul it off. Edwards trying to continue the trend. The Bears getting out of messes. This is definitely a big one. Third swing. I'm not sure what just happened there. Somebody was called out for maybe missing home plate. It's the only thing I can think of. The umpires are talking with head coach Tom Riley of Goldey-Beacom. So they say Dalen Griffith missed the plate when he came home to score. So he actually did not score. So it's just 2-1 Goldey-Beacom, as that turned into a double play for. And so the runs for Fowler and Johnson count, but Griffiths does not. So Griffith was just coming home from third base. It's not like he even had to rush at all. He missed the plate. What a break that is for the Bears, because not only does it end the inning, it takes a run off the board. So it's just 2-1. Goldey-Beacom. They're glad to take the lead, I'm sure, but that's got to be. kind of a bizarre turn of events there. So just a 2-run double for Mason Maxwell instead of a 3-run double as Griffith is called out. I don't know who saw that. Must have been Clarno that noticed that Griffith missed the plate. Matt Mackey's first swing of the day is a foul ball on 8th Avenue behind us. If this thing turns into a 1-run close game, go back and look at that play right there. Top of the zone for a called strike 2. Mackey shakes his head, but he's down 0-2. In the 0-2 pitch, hit a ton to left center field. Lindsey glides over into the gap and calls off Johnson to make the catch. Just got a touch under that one. And Mackey's the first out of the bottom of the second. So David Bell coming off a grand slam in game 1. Waves and misses there. Bell's hit 4 career home runs at LR, and 2 of them have been grand slams. The last 2 almost exactly 1 year apart. Last year was on Valentine's Day. This year he gets one 2 days before Valentine's Day. Chopper to third. Fowler beats him by a step. 2 outs. So these are the bottom 3 in the Bear order. 9-hitter Brett Urey, who pinch hit at the end of game 1 and got an RBI single out of it. Nice off-speed pitch there. Thigh high for a called strike on Urey. By the way, Lenoir-Rhyne women's basketball lost at Anderson today, 72-64. Men's lacrosse, a winner over North Greenville. Their men's basketball playing right now down at Anderson. 1-2 on Urey as that one sneaks over the top of the screen. Urey's second start of the season, 1 hopper to third. Fowler backhands and throws it over the first baseman's head. Urey will make the wide turn and now head back to first as Meganson does well to run it down off the screen. That was a tough play for Fowler, and he airmails Musey over there at first. So the first error of game 2 for Goldey-Beacom puts a man aboard with Kuda coming up. So Urey, the transfer from Catawba Valley CC. Reaches here in the bottom of the second. And Kuda, who has been absolutely unstoppable in this series, did strike out on the first at bat, but runner goes, the pitch hits him. Kuda tried to lean out of the way but could not. Catches him on the left leg. And a 2-out rally going here for the Bears as they try to tie things up or take the lead here in the early going of game 2 of this doubleheader. LR won the first game today 16-6. They won the first game of the series last night 5-0. Laskowski singled and scored the Lone Bear run so far today. Came home on the Perino sac fly. First offering from Guerreri is chop foul straight back behind him. Ynesta's on deck. He and Clarno both walked in the first. Strike on the inner half, quickly 0-2. Laskowski is a New Yorker from Lancaster. Transferred from Niagara County Community College in New York. Hit over 300 there last year. 2 homers, 34 RBIs. The 0-2. Too high, up at the letters, 1-2. Sun has peeked its way through the clouds again after we had a decent amount of cloud cover for about half an hour here at Durham Field. And Laskowski lines a base hit to right field. They hold up Yuri at third, and that was a good decision. That ball was just hit too hard for Yuri to try it. And the bases are loaded up for Drew Ynesta. But Laskowski's 2 for 2. He's got both of the Bear hits in this game. And a huge chance for Drew Ynesta here to give LR the lead right back. Ynesta walked in his first plate appearance today. Couple of walks in game 1. Is yet to record a hit today, but no better time than the present for that. First offering is hammered. Left center field. Johnson back at the wall, and he grabs it right on the track. Inches away from a grand slam for Ynesta. And Guerreri, by the skin of his teeth, gets out of that second inning unscathed. 2-1 Goldey-Beacom after 2 on the Bear Sports Network.
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found the expert for my heart.
So Autry and Musi, the 3 and 4 hitters, start things out here in the top of the third with back-to-back singles. Meganson, who went 4 for 4 in game 1, struck out against Edwards to end the first here in game 2. But another good scoring chance here for the Lightning to increase their lead. Good pitch, caught Meganson off guard there. And Connors quickly down 2 strikes to Edwards. Edwards brings it. It's a little bit off the plate, apparently. So the best Goldey-Beacom can do at this point is a split in this series, which, given the way it started, I'm sure they would take. Meganson strikes out 1 pitch later than everyone in the Bear dugout thought he was gonna. He's the first out of the third inning, so after a 4 for 4 game 1, he's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts here in game 2. And the 4th punch-out victim for Edwards. So now Baginski, strike 1 on the inner half. Micah is one of the 4 strikeout victims for Austin Edwards so far. DHing here in game 2 in his first start of this 2022 season. He led things off in the second with the strikeout. All the rally happened with 2 outs in the second inning for Goldey-Beacom. It was strikeout to Baginski, ground out by Lindsay, so quickly 2 outs. Griffith singled, Fowler walked, Johnson walked, Maxwell doubled, Griffith then missed home plate. Baginski fouls that one off the handle out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Would go a long way for Edwards in this game, I think, to get a double play here. Keep the pitch count reasonable. Get some momentum going back in the dugout for the Bears, who Ynesta just barely missed a grand slam by, couldn't have been more than a couple feet out in straightaway center field last half inning. So the Bears seem to have timed out Guerrero. It's a double steal attempt. Clarno throws back behind and got him. Musi gunned down at second. Autry takes third, but it's a strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. So there's some momentum. It wasn't the double play I was expecting, but it's a double play nonetheless. We head to the bottom of the third. Bears down 1 on the Bear Sports Network.
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
After finishing the second leg of the strike 'em out, throw 'em out, Nick Clarno leads things off here. Bottom three for the Bears. Looking to build on some momentum after Ynesta ended the last at-bats for the Bears with just a narrow miss of a grand slam. Johnson at the wall in center field made a nice running play. So Nick, who threw down to second to get Musey on the strike him out, throw him out, leads things off here, bottom third. He walked in his first plate appearance in the first and takes a slider down and away for ball one here in the third. He and Ynesta back-to-back in the order, teammates in Savannah this summer, both CPL champions. Playing for the Bananas, off the handle, fired foul. You got to be brave to park your car back there in this field, because I think we saw a windshield, not a windshield, but maybe like the top of a car get a nice little dent last half inning on a foul ball. It's worth the walk to park your car in the lot across the street, I'm just telling you. 2-1. Fastball misses wide to Clarno. Good pitch there from Guerreri, had Clarno out in front of it. And he's back even at 2-2. These two back at it tomorrow here at noon. Well, Super Bowl Sunday baseball for you. There's another case in point of a car just narrowly missing that baseball from Nick Clarno. The Grayson, Georgia native will step up again, 2-2. Ground ball off the glove of Guerreri to shortstop. Maxwell picks it up and throws Clarno out by a step. Guerreri probably saved a hit there by getting a piece of that ball. Good reaction time by Maxwell at shortstop to pick it up. And Clarno is retired here to start the bottom of the third. So Perino now, he's got the lone RBI of this game for the Bears. Sac fly back in the first. First pitch floats upstairs for a ball. Anthony, 2 hits in the side for ball 2. Second team All-CACC was Guerreri a year ago. Second in the league in ERA at 2.88. He's behind Perino 3-0 here. Tossed at least 6 2/3 innings 4 times. Academic honor roll as well. And the 3-0 pitch is strike one. Perino trying to maintain his productive day and grounds this one to the right of his head coach in the third base coaching box, and it's back to a full count. Guerreri's been at Goldey-Beacom for quite a while. 2018 was his freshman year. Actually made the most starts on the team that year with 13. And bounces back to strike out Perino. He's behind 3-0. Perino tips the full count pitch into the glove for strike 3. So 2 up and 2 down against Guerreri here in the bottom of the third. Now it's up to Louis Attiles to get a rally started here for the Bears. LR trying to win its third straight game, and seventh out of 8 here to start 2022. Attiles leaves it down and away for ball one. Lewis grounded out to short as he looks at a strike. The belt buckle on the inner half. Almost beat the grounder out to Maxwell, but could not. And he lines this one over Maxwell's head as he ducked out of the way. I think he lost it in the sun there for a base hit. Third hit of the game for the Bears, and the first one that doesn't belong to Laskowski. And a 2-out base runner for LR here in the bottom of the third. Brings up Matt Mackey. LR has left 5 men on base through 2. Only left 4 men on base the entire first game here today. Attiles, the ball is away. This could roll forever. Lewis will hold up there at second as it died down. Good hustle by Musey to run it down before Attiles got ideas about moving up to third. So the second error for Goldey-Beacom. First one belongs to Fowler, the third baseman. That one to Guerrieri. Second time this series we've seen a pitcher throw errantly over to first base. This with 2 outs. Those are the ones that just frustrate you as a coach because all you have to do is get the guy at the plate out. You don't have to worry about the base runners with 2 outs. Mackey off the handle, foul into the parking lot for strike 1. It's a little bit more understandable. That was always one of my biggest pet peeves. I used to catch. And when my pitchers with 2 outs would mess around with the base runners and then inevitably throw it away because it happens every single time. It was the most frustrating thing. With 2 outs, it's a different story with 1 or 0 outs. But with 2, all you got to do is get the guy at the plate out, and it doesn't really matter what the base runners are doing. Maybe that's a little bit old school, but it's also true. The 0-1 pitch coming to Mackey. In the air, right field. This has some carry. Griffith backpedals to the track, and he makes the catch on the warning track. 2 innings in a row ended by warning track shots with men on base for the Bears. Going to have to battle here in Game 2 today. 2-1 Goldey-Beacom as we're through 3 on the Bears Sports Network.
Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Bears have narrowly missed multiple home runs here these last couple innings. Warning track shot by Ynesta. Another by Mackey to end the bottom of the third. And here in the top of the fourth, it's Marlon Lindsay leading things off. 7, 8, 9 coming up here against Austin Edwards. And the first pitch is a check swing that Lindsay fouls off for strike one. Marlon grounded out to second in his first at-bat in this game. And is now 0 for 5 today. 1-1. Fastball misses high. That was the 61st pitch that Austin Edwards has thrown here through 3+ and the 1-1. Touch low. 2-1. Good frame job by Clarno, but not quite enough. Glad you're sticking with us. We have been on the air for quite a long time today. Breaking ball up high, 2-1. Four hits scattered, also 3 walks, 5 strikeouts for Edwards, so that kind of lends itself to a high pitch count. Slider on the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big swing and a miss by Lindsay. Can't catch up with Edwards' fastball. The 6th strikeout for Austin here in the top of the 4th. And Lindsay's day at the plate that he would like to forget continues. Dalen Griffith, who had the most consequential play of this game when he missed home plate back in the 2nd inning. It should have been a 3-run double from Mason Maxwell, but it was only 2 because Griffith from third base somehow missed home plate. The Bears caught it, so did the umpire, so the inning ended with only 2 runs scoring instead of 3. The 1-1. Chopped foul. Edwards seems to have a little bit more command here in this top of the 4th inning, and he's ahead 1-2. Looking for his 7th strikeout. Just narrowly misses it, 2-2. So Griffith came up with 2 outs in the 2nd, singled, and started the rally that led to the 2 runs. That one fouled off the umpire's shin guard all the way out halfway to the mound. And we'll try it again at 2-2. Edwards, just look at him. He's a big, strong guy, big, thick legs. And has back-to-back strikeouts here in the top of the 4th inning. And now 7 for the game. Bears would love to get him through 6. Now with 71 pitches here with 2 outs in the 4th, probably going to need a quick 5th for another chance in the 6th. Fowler goes too far around for strike 1. Cole walked. He scored what actually ended up being the first run. It was when Edwards kind of lost his command for a minute. Walked Fowler on 4 pitches. Walked Demetrius Johnson, who's on deck, on 4 pitches. But has the command squarely back here and is ahead 0-2. And the pitch. He got him on strikes. Almost an immaculate inning for Austin Edwards. Missed it by a couple pitches, but strikes out the side in the top of the fourth. Bears trying to break through. They've been super close the last couple innings. See if they can do it in the bottom of the fourth when you come back to Durham Field. Mitch Guerreri still pitching with the lead for Goldey-Beacom here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The lights just fired up here at Durham Field. Been playing all day long. Started at noon. Bears won game 1 16-6. Here we are, bottom of the fourth of game 2 with the Lightning in front 2-1. 8-9-1 coming up here this half inning. Bell, Uri, and Kuda. The last 2 innings for LR have ended with warning track fly balls. First from Unesta with the bases loaded. The second one from Mackey with a man in scoring position. Bell looks at a ball inside. Grounded out to third base in his first at-bat. In this game, after the grand slam in game 1 that really broke that thing wide open. Checked the swing and did go, they say. Savvy Matt Risden down there at first base. The home plate umpire said he went around, and Riz immediately asked the first base umpire if he went around, and the answer was yes. The 1-1 popped up, shallow left center field. This could be trouble. Maxwell going back, Johnson coming in, and Maxwell backpedals out to make the catch for out number 1. So Bell is retired. Now Brett Uri, who reached on an error in the second inning, digs in. Finished the game in left field in game 1 and now starts for the second time this season in game 2. Transfer from Catawba Valley CC right here in Hickory and is from Granite Falls, so just up the road. First pitch is knocked to deep right field. Griffith backpedals again onto the track. Third time this game that a Goldey-Beacom outfielder has been pushed back to the warning track as Uri gave it a run. But it's just a long out number 2 as the lineup card turns over and Wade Kuda comes up. Three hits in this game for the Bears. 2 for Cole Laskowski and 1 for Louis Atiles. Other than that, it's been a few walks sprinkled in here and there, but that's about it. Offensively, through the first 3 2/3. Never mind. Wade Kuda came up and continues to torment Goldey-Beacom in this series. He has 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, and now is on for the second time in this game. Laskowski, who's 2 for 2, now gets a chance with 2 outs. Look at that beautiful dusk sky here in Hickory. Slider down and away for ball 1 to Cole. Scored the lone Bear run in this game back in the first on the sac fly from Perino. Picture perfect day, especially on a February day. Touch low below the knees, 2-0. Guerreri really wanted that one as he squatted down on top of the hill. Glad you're with us on the Bear Sports Network, presented by our friends at MBA Roofing. Pops the glove of Autry for strike 1. Laskowski, right foot, front edge of the plate, and he shoots this one to left field, and he's 3 for 3. Laskowski, a great start to game 2, and a 2-out rally rolling here in the bottom of the 4th for the Bears. And another chance for Drew Ynesta. Ynesta came up in a similar situation with the bases loaded in the second and hit a ball. I don't know exactly how deep it is to straightaway center field, but however deep it is, it was 2 feet shorter than that. Narrowly missed a grand slam. Doesn't need a home run, just a base knock here would do the trick for the Bears to at least tie this game. As the first pitch is up and in for ball 1. Now some activity going on in both bullpens. Looks like Jackson Reed in the LR pen. Bears hoping for one more inning out of Austin Edwards, I assume. At least one more, maybe 2. Ynesta close stance back in the box. The 1-0. Floats inside, 2-0. Kuda at second base. Pretty modest lead. Not paying a whole lot of attention to him back there. Laskowski the same at first. And the 2-0 to Ynesta. Inside again, 3-0. Ynesta is one of those guys, there's 2 different types of hitters. Some guys that come to the plate that are just happy to get on base, and the others that are visibly upset when they get walked. And Ynesta is in the latter group. He got walked on 4 pitches in the first game and just gave this death stare back to the dugout. 3-0. Here's strike 1 down at the knees. So at least another chance to hit here for Ynesta. Trying to break this thing back even or bump the Bears in front. Three 1 on the corner, full count. Runners will be in motion here. Full count, 2 outs. So a gap shot from Ynesta could very well give LR the lead. Big pitch in this game here. Bears have already left 6 men on base through 3. Trying to break that trend here in this 4th inning. Full count pitch. Grounder up the middle. Maxwell to his left. Dives but can't get it. And Kuda keeps going. The ball is loose. And this game is tied. Never broke stride as Ynesta gets the job done on the chopper up the middle. Maxwell knocked it down but couldn't make any play. And because because Kuda was running on the pitch, was already at third base by the time the ball went loose. And we're all square at 2. So now the same chance for Clairno here. 6th hit for the Bears here. Now through 3 2/3. Nick's 0 for 1. Fly out walk. Had a deep fly out to center field. Johnson made a good running play on Clairno's hit to end the second. So 3 straight 2-out singles here in the 4th. This is exactly what Chris Ramirez wanted out of his offense this year. To not be so home run dependent. And 3 guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Kuda, Laskowski, Ynesta string together 3 straight singles to tie this thing up. So the Bears showing that they're becoming a more, I guess, well-rounded is the term, offensive team. Clairno ahead 2-0 in the pitch. Now he's ahead 3-0. That was Ynesta's 5th RBI on the season. 3rd place on the team. He's got the best batting average on the team, but because of the grand slam, David Bell's got the 2nd most RBIs behind Kuda. Clairno takes a strike. Looked like he was considering a swing there on 3-0. Maybe he was just bluffing. But either way, it's 3-1. See action in the Goldey-Beacom bullpen in the back of that shot. The 3-1. Ball 4. Runners were on the move on the pitch. And it doesn't matter because Clairno walks for the 2nd time today. And now Anthony Perino, who came through in this situation earlier, came up with the bases loaded and hit a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning. Obviously, that's not an option here with 2 outs. But 4 men in a row have reached with 2 outs here in the 4th. Started by Kuda, then Laskowski, then Ynesta. All 3 with singles. Clairno walked. Now Perino is ready to roll. We're going to try to get head coach Chris Ramirez and or Joshua Lanham on in the next inning or so. It'll be when the Bears are on defense because obviously Coach Ram out there coaching right now. A lot of speed on the base pass. A lot of savvy on the base pass, too. If Perino can find a gap, Clairno definitely will give it a whirl to try to score. Slider just a touch outside. The umpire's been consistently not calling that pitch a strike in this game, so Mitch Guerrieri would probably be best served to go somewhere else. And the Bears, to their credit, have been consistently taking the pitch. The 1-0. That one finds the zone on the inner half for a called strike. Guerrieri has played with fire in this game, but has not been burned quite yet. Bears trying to change that here. The 1-1. Down and away again. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 delivery. Tapped back, foul to the screen. Perino was ready for that slider from Guerreri, but he just missed it. And Guerreri 1 strike away from getting out of this thing with minimal damage. Single runs in the first and fourth inning for the Bears. Had 4 big innings in game 1 that led to 16 runs. Trying to string together a big one here with 2 outs. 2-2 delivery. Inside. Full count. Goldey-Beacom dugout was ready to explode with excitement. That pitch was called a strike. It was not. And now again, the runners will be on the move here with a full count. Perino's come up big already on this homestand. Guerreri steps off. So they have the timing violation. We've seen that a few times. I don't know what the penalty is other than the umpires just giving the pitchers a talking to, because that's all that's happened today. At some point, it's probably going to be a ball or maybe treated like a balk. Either way, big spot for Perino. He's come up big in these spots before. And a ground ball through again. Fair ball inside the bag. 2 runs are in. Here comes Clarno. Full head of steam. Bases clearing. Double. Inches inside the bag for Anthony Perino. And it's a 4 spot in the 4th for the Bears. It's 5-2. Tom Riley is out upset with the umpire that thought that ball was foul. And you see him upset there having the conversation. And I don't know. It's the ball. It happened so fast. We're sitting up here on the top of the press box, and it's hard to completely tell whether or not that ball was inside the bag. But the umpire has the best angle on the field. He called it fair, and that is the end of Guerreri's day. I mentioned earlier he was playing with fire but had yet to get burned, and he did get burned. A 3-run double for Anthony Perino gives the Bears a 5-2 lead on the Bears Sports Network. Pitching change coming for Goldey-Beacom. Anthony Perino has 4 out of the 5 Bear RBIs here today. Just cleared the bases with a double just tucked inside the third base bag. And it's 5-2 LR. And the new pitcher for Goldey-Beacom is number 34, Trevor Jump. Jump made quite the splash when he came onto the mound. His first warm-up pitch went about 8 feet over the catcher's head and into the backstop. It was a good thing nobody was back there because that could have done some damage. Atile's at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. But a 4 spot in this inning for the Bears, all with 2 outs. The first 2 guys of the inning, Bell and Yuri, both got out. Bell popped out. Yuri flew out. Kuda singled. Laskowski singled. Ynesta singled. The ball stayed in the infield as Maxwell made a diving attempt at it and was able to keep it in the infield, but Kuda still came home on the Ynesta single. Clarno walked, and then Perino doubled home all 3 of them. And Luis Atiles thought about going after that running fastball in on his hands and was wise to hold up. And time is called as they switch out the baseball. One and one is the count. Atiles closed stance. Left foot right at the crown of the near side of home plate. That one way upstairs. Pretty sure the count is 2-1. Perino at second. High again. And the count is actually full. It's 3-2. So I was wrong. The scoreboard operator was wrong. Nobody was right. Full count. Strike from Trevor Jump, who is making his first appearance of the year. He was 5-0 last year, primarily a starter. 8 appearances and 6 starts last year. 39 2/3 innings, 3.86 ERA, 35 strikeouts, 23 strikeouts to 17 walks. Mackey hits a chopper to third. Big hop for Fowler, who throws it up the line, but Musey able to make the tag to retire the side. But the damage done, all with 2 outs. The Bears get 5 hits and 5 runs, all with 2 outs on the board, and lead 6-2 after 4 on the Bear Sports Network. Top of the 5th inning, Austin Edwards back, now pitching with the lead by 4, 6-2. Bears had a epic 2-out rally in the bottom of the 4th. They strung together 5 hits and a walk with 2 outs, scored 5 runs. The big hit, the 3-run double just inside the third base bag by Anthony Perino, who has 4 out of the 6 RBIs today. Top of the order coming up for Goldey-Beacom against Edwards here. Third time through the lineup. Demetrius Johnson looks at a strike. Demetrius reached on an error to start the game by the center fielder Kuda, then walked and scored on the second. Fastball misses above the belt buckle for ball 1. Misses just a bit outside there, 2-1. Johnson last year in 14 games hit .214. 3 for 14, so a lot of 14s there. Just below the knees, 3-1. Bears desperately want Edwards to get through this inning. That was his 74th pitch of the game right there. Patrick went 92 pitches yesterday, and that's Edwards' 4th walk. Also has 8 strikeouts. But the second time he's walked the leadoff man, Demetrius Johnson, who's aboard for the 3rd time in this game. And now Mason Maxwell, who has both the RBIs, should have 3 RBIs if not for Dalen Griffith missing home plate on his bases-loaded double back in the second. Way behind that fastball there, strike 1. Shakes his head and goes, all right. Sun setting. What a beautiful day to spend at the ballpark. The 0-1. Line drive caught by Laskowski, who squatted down and grabbed it off the turf. Good base running by Johnson to read it and get back. Thought Laskowski might have a chance to double him off, but by the time he was able to transfer it, Johnson already back to the bag. So a hard hit ball there from Maxwell, but nothing to show for it. First time he's been retired today. And now Autry. It's a throw over. First pitch slider to Autry is fought off. Gotten a chance to know Austin Edwards a little bit through classes. We're both in the same grad program, and we've been in groups together and stuff, and he seems like just a really great guy who is very grateful for the opportunity that Coach Ramirez and staff have given him to kind of reinvent himself as a starter, primarily a reliever throughout his college baseball career, but definitely has solidified himself as the 3rd starter on the weekends for the Bears after Patrick and Lanham. And when Edwards' stuff is good, it's as good as anyone. Not sure where that one missed. 2-1. Autry 1 for 2, struck out against Edwards in the first and lines this ball to deep center field. Kuda backpedals and twists. Got a great read and runs that ball down and straight away center field. It was tagged by Autry But Wade Kuda, who has done it with the bat and the glove in this series, continues to just haunt Goldey-Beacom. 2 outs. Two really hard hit outs in this inning. One by Maxwell, the second by Autry, and now Musey, the 4-hitter. Edwards can get through the meat of this order one more time. Good throw over to first. Almost got Johnson. Bears offense has provided plenty of run support so far. Edwards went 5 innings in his first start, trying to get through 5 here. As Musey hammers this ball, and this is a 2-run game. Cranked right out of here by Garrett Musey. First home run of the season for Goldey-Beacom, and that was a no-doubter on a hanging breaking ball to left field. Hit 9 of them a year ago. Has number 1 here in Hickory. So a 2-run shot for Musey. As Edwards bounces right back. A little extra juice on that fastball to Megginson. So the walk to Johnson to lead things off comes back to bite Edwards here. But the Bear offense has given him plenty of run support so far to work with. 2-2. Fastball on the corner. Feels like Edwards just needs to stick with the fastball here to get through Megginson, and then his day would presumably be done. Touch low, full count. Edwards trying to get through 5. Can't. Run just now by Musey. The double by Maxwell in the second to drive in the other 2 runs. But a lot of those given up 5 hits. So without the walks, it's a different story. Chopper left side, foul. Baginski at the dish. Megginson reaches, by the way, after going 4 for 4 in the first game. Reaches for the first time in game 2. Struck out in both of his first 2 at-bats against Edwards, so does a nice job to battle a walk out of that one. So this is definitely going to be the end for Edwards as they're trying to get him through 5. 1-1. That was pitch number 93. Right there for Austin. Just nothing has come super easy for him today. Struggled with command at times. At other times, the command has looked great. Had an unfortunate defensive mishap behind him to start the game that led to a bunch of pitches being thrown in the first inning. Didn't give up any runs in that inning, but the pitch count kind of ballooned starting then. It's 1-2. Modest lead for Megginson at first. 1-2 pitch. Soft grounder right side. Laskowski gobbles it up and ends the inning. Musey cuts the lead in half with a 2-run shot. And Austin Edwards will exit with the lead at 6-4 Bears as we head to the bottom of the 5th on the Bear Sports Network.
What does unlimited mean to you? At Carolina West Wireless, it means unlimited media, unlimited fun, and unlimited access to our nationwide high-speed network. Sign up today for an unlimited data plan and pay just $35 per month per line for 4 lines, and we'll include hotspot and big-time savings on a new smartphone. Take $350 off the revolutionary new Samsung Galaxy S20 and get more out of your unlimited. Expect more, get more. Only from Carolina West Wireless.
Trevor jumped back to work after he came in and got the final out of the 4th inning. After the starter, Guerreri gave up 5 hits with 2 outs and a walk, including a bases-clearing double to Anthony Perino. As David Bell watches that one fly to the backstop, a ball and a strike. Bears sent all 9 men to the plate in that last 4th inning. Bell led things off by popping out to shortstop. He and Yuri, the man on deck, both got out, and then everything fell apart for Goldey-Beacom. Single by Kuda, single by Laskowski. Yanesta got in on it. Clarno walked. Perino the big double. Atiles the RBI single to bring in Perino. And that was the way it happened to end things in the 4th. Bears looking to secure a series win at the very least by sweeping this doubleheader today. Ground ball left side. Fowler to his left. Pivots and makes a nice play, cutting that ball off to get the Speedy Bell. So after hitting the grand slam in Game 1, David Bell's 0 for 3 in Game 2. Brett Yuri tries to avoid the same fate. Brett reached on an error by Fowler, the third baseman, who just made that nice play a couple seconds ago. And then hit a ball to the warning track in the 4th. Then Griffith, the right fielder, made a good play on. The 1-0 pitch. More action for Fowler. Another big hop, another good throw. 2 up and 2 down here against Trevor Jump in the bottom of the 5th. This is a deja vu for how it started last time. 8 and 9 guys bounced out. Kuda comes up with the bases empty and 2 outs. Been on twice in this second game. Got hit by a pitch in the second, and obviously the single to start things last inning. Throw him a slider down and away. I wouldn't be throwing him many fastballs at this point. And Jump delivers the 0-1. Hack and a miss. Fastball let her high. The colors really popping here tonight. The blue sky, good contrast with the still new turf. Sometimes it's easy to forget how new this turf is. This is only the second baseball season on it. The 1-1. Down and away again. Again, that is where I would pitch him. 2-1. Kuda gets under this one, foul ground right side. Musi runs out of room as the ball ends up in the parking lot. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Wade Kuda, tied for the national lead in home runs from Winter Park High School in Orlando, Florida. Hit 351 and 97 at-bats last year, so it's not like this is super surprising. Preseason all-conference performer, well, preseason all-conference guy, as he watches ball 3 fly high. So he's not a very well-kept secret, is the point I'm trying to make. Baseball switches out again. He jumped through the ball back to his catcher, just lobbed it in to switch the baseballs, and somebody from the LR dugout yelled, "Ball 4." Jump very quickly responded that it was a strike. So that was well done there by Jump. Full count pitch. Line drive left field. This could be extra bases. It is. It's a ground rule double. I have run out of words. Kuda. Second double of the day. Second hit of the game. Third time he's been on. I don't think Wade Kuda will ever want Goldey-Beacom to leave Hickory, because he has absolutely torched them. It's truly unbelievable. 3 home runs yesterday. Came up a triple short of the cycle in Game 1 today, including a 3-run home run. 2 hits today, or 2 hits in Game 2, including a double just now. In the second inning in a row, he's gotten a hit with 2 outs and the base is empty. And the last time, the Bears got 5 runs after that. So Laskowski, who followed Kuda up last inning with a hit, trying to do the same and go 4 for 4 in this game too. Strike 2 at the belt buckle. Laskowski didn't love it, but he's down 0-2. Maxwell getting in there behind Kuda. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Laskowski goes down, and he's retired for the first time in this game 2. So a 2-out double from Kuda doesn't hurt Goldey-Beacom. We head to the 6th. Still a 2-run lead for the Bears. So as expected, Austin Edwards' day is done. He's in line for the win right now, leaving with the lead. 6-4 Bears. Top of the 6th inning gives way to Caleb Cockerham, lefty from Clemens, NC. Third appearance of the year. In 2 innings so far, he's given up just 1 hit, 1 walk, pair of strikeouts, no runs. Pitched last on Tuesday in the 7th inning against Barton. Hard-throwing lefty. Good change of pace guy. A lot of times you're used to seeing a little bit lighter stuff from the left side. That is not the case when Cockerham is on the mound. And he will be dealing with the bottom 3 in the Goldey-Beacom lineup. Lindsey Griffith-Fowler and Marlon Lindsay, the left fielder for the Lightning, will try to get on base for the first time today. First pitch flies high and outside for ball 1. Oh for 2 in this game 2. Ground out, strikeout. Edwards struck out 8 guys but walked 5. So the pitch count was too high to send him out there for the 6th inning. Looks like Michael Allen's warming up. He warmed up for so long yesterday and ended up coming in to pitch the 9th. But he definitely one of those everyday 1-inning relievers for Chris Ramirez. 3-0 now on Lindsay. This has been a bit of an issue today, is strike throwing for LR relief pitchers. There's one to Lindsay. Edwards had a bit of command problems at times in his outing as well. Cockerham trying to fight back. On his way, full count. Lindsay fouls off the 3-2 pitch off the umpire. Was taking a couple of direct hits today. One off the shin guard and one off the shoulder pad there. Another full count pitch. He got him on strikes. Paints the corner. Fights back from down 3-0 and strikes out the first man he faces here in the 6th. Sun has set. Lights are on. It's obviously cooled off with the sun down. But only by a little bit. Still 63. Chopper right side. Laskowski on the big hop. Flips it over to Perino. And 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th against Cockerham. These are the type of efficient innings that you're looking for, at least to start here in the 6th. Now Cole Fowler walked and scored a run in the 2nd. Struck out against Edwards his last time up. Plays third base, so throws righty, bats lefty. First slider misses down and away for ball 1. Just the green of the turf that really pops on the screen there. 2-0. Clarno tried to frame it, but it was too low. We haven't seen too much shifting from the Bears. Against Barton, there was probably more information out there that the Bear coaching staff has on the Barton hitters, so there was in the outfield especially a lot of movement in that game. Hack and a miss, 2-1, but with the relative unfamiliarity of these two teams, this is only the second meeting. Lenoir-Rhyne is now, or the second series they've ever played. Lenoir-Rhyne is now 5-0 against Goldey-Beacom, by the way. The Lightning came down to Hickory here in 2018 and got swept in a 3-game series. Fowler goes after some high cheese there, and it's 2-2. And so with the first two wins in this series, the Bears are now 5-0. And LR in that first series scored the second most runs in program history in a game, with 23 runs in one game against Goldey-Beacom back in 18. The 2-2 line drive. Laskowski dives, has to hurry. Great play. Laskowski has made play after play at second base this weekend, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 6th inning for Cockerham. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Bears trying to extend a 2-run lead.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate.
3, 4, and 5 due up here. Bottom 6, Unesta, Clarno, Perino. Drew Unesta watches a fastball fly high and outside from Trevor Jump. So far, he's pitched an inning and a third. Given up a pair of hits, but one of those hits was the bases clearing double to, I'm sorry, no, the one double that he gave up was to Kuda. Starter Guerreri gave up the bases clearing double to Perino. But Jump, last inning, was able to work around that double. Unesta's ahead 3-0. Glad to have you with us still, wherever you may be, whether that's in Delaware, North Carolina, or anywhere in between. Unesta looks at a called strike, 3-1. Appreciate the kind words we've received from fans of LR baseball about the broadcast we've had so far. Truly does mean the world to us. In a world of a lot of negativity, whenever there's positive feedback, it is a very welcome sight. So Unesta walks. And Clarno comes up. He's walked twice in this game. Scored on the Perino double. A back pick to first. Unesta got caught napping there yesterday, and that doesn't look good. He's down. Maybe, I don't know, just maybe pulled something trying to dive back. The pitch was a ball to Clarno. As we play into the dusk here in Hickory. I know I probably said it about 10 times on these two games today, but the weather is just unbelievably good today. We got to enjoy it while we can because it's not going to be so good tomorrow when we're out here. 2-0 on Nick, who's already walked twice in this game. Hit a hard fly ball to, pardon me, didn't hit a fly ball, hit a line drive that was knocked out of the air by Guerreri and deflected to Maxwell at shortstop, who threw Clarno out by a step. Squares to bunt, misses it, and now has to fight down 1-2. Maybe something on here with Coach Ram giving the signs. Unesta looked like he might have been running a couple pitches ago when Jump threw over there. He is running now. The pitch is high. The throw is in time. They got him. Perfect throw from Autry, who guns down his second runner of the weekend. The leadoff walk to Unesta is erased. And the count is 2-2 on Clarno. Good leave just off the plate there for Nick. Full count. LR Women's Lacrosse also a winner today. They had their season opener at Lee in Cleveland, Tennessee. Won a close one on the road. Line drive foul. She lunged after that outside pitch. Still a full count. So both lacrosse teams win today for the Bears. Softball also in action down in Florida. Clarno hits this ball to straightaway center field. Johnson, no trouble with it. 2 outs. LR softball dropped some close ones these past couple days. Have yet to win a game down in Florida, but lost 9-7, 4-3, and 3-2 in 3 different games. So Bears just trying to break through late. They had a super exciting walk-off win here on Sunday against Lee's McRae. Anthony Perino pops the first pitch up, foul ground, and running out of room is Musey for strike 1. Perino's got 4 RBIs in this game. Bases clearing double back in the 4th was the biggest hit of the day, of the game, I should say. And a sac fly back in the 1st inning. Behind that fastball from Jump, 0-2. Trevor Jump looking to put another 0 up on the board for Goldey-Beacom. 1-2. Both LR men's and women's basketball also fell today at Anderson, both close. Bear men's four-game winning streak, comes to an end. Just lost by 3 to Anderson. The sack is a hard lead to figure out in basketball. Perino strikes out looking, and jump faces the minimum here in the 6th. We're 2/3 of the way done in Game 2. We head to the 7th. 2-run lead for the Bears on the Bear Sports Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Cockerham back to work for his second inning of work. This is the first time this season that he's gone more than one. And he's facing the top 3 in the order for Goldey-Beacom. Johnson, Maxwell, Autry. First pitch to Demetrius Johnson. Misses high and outside for ball 1. 2 walks and 2 runs scored for Demetrius in his last 2 plate appearances. So been productive getting on base to set the table for the guys behind him in the order. Called strike that he doesn't like on the inside part of the plate there. Johnson's been on all 3 times he's come up in this game. Reached on an error, 2 walks. Taking over center field duties this year for Goldey-Beacom after being more of a reserve player last year. Now he's down 1-2 as he's taken 2 strikes in a row from Cockerham. Caleb delivers, misses low. Cockerham got the Lightning to go down in order in the 6th. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Now 2 strikeouts on his night as Johnson goes down looking for the first out here in the 7th. Ninth strikeout of the game for Bear pitching. Maxwell swinging for the fences there and missed for the first strike. 2-run double for Mason back in the 2nd, which again as that one misses just a little bit outside. That misstep by Dalen Griffith to miss home plate. This game should be 6-5 right now, and it's 6-4. And I mentioned it at the time, and I'll say it again now. If this game tightens up, which it has, Maxwell behind another fastball, 1-2, that is just a massive play in this game. The fact that Griffith missed home plate, Clarno, I assume, was the Bear that saw it, and so did the umpire. And the run was wiped off the board. Maxwell swings and misses, and Cockerham has struck out the first two men here in the seventh. And now, his day is done. Obviously kept him in to face the lefty Maxwell. So, Cockerham coming out, Allen coming in. We'll tell you about him after this break on the Bear Sports Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement our
All right, to the fifth appearance out of the pen in 2022 for Michael Allen, junior from Manteo, NC, 5'10", 175 pounds. Last year made 14 relief appearances, 1.05 ERA, and has yet to give up a single run here in 22 thus far. Imagine they might run him a little longer than usual today. This is just my guess. And maybe have him unavailable tomorrow as Autry hammers the first pitch right out of the ballpark. Well, now Allen's given up one run in 2022. Two long home runs in this game from Goldey-Beacom, one from Musi, and that one from Marshall Autry. This is a one-run game. A one-run game that should be tied if Griffith touches home plate. Autry was ready for that fastball that Allen threw him. Hit 6 big flies last year, did Autry. Now has first one here. Hard hit to third base. Ynesta down the line, and Perino can't catch it. Was a good enough throw, I think. I think you got to come up with that one at first base. But not the ideal start here for Michael Allen. So now Meganson, who had 4 hits in the first game, and is 0 for 2 with a walk here in the second game, gets a chance with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. You know, you take the lefty out to face the righty, and even though the percentages are in your favor, sometimes baseball laughs right in your face. The 0-1. Strike 2. One thing that I will say for the Bears, Austin Edwards gave up that long home run to Musey back in the 5th, and then he walked Meganson after that, but in a big spot, he got Baginski to ground out. And Allen, same thing, induced a ground ball that should have gotten him out of the inning. Let's see who our official scorekeeper gave that error to. He did give it to Perino, which I agree with. At first base, throw was good enough from Ynesta. So 2 errors in this game for the Bears. Also 2 for Goldey-Beacom. The 1-2. Blocked by Clarno. The middle of the lineup, after being silent basically in the first game for Goldey-Beacom until garbage time, has really picked it up here in the second game. Maxwell's been good. Autry and Musey have both hit home runs. And Meganson fouls it off to stay alive. And Johnson, the leadoff man's been on 3 times as well after he really struggled in the first game as well. So if Goldey-Beacom can get all their guys in the lineup going at the same time, they are, as we knew coming in, a very dangerous team. The 2-2 barely stays alive again. Two outs here in the top of the 7th. LR trying to get out of this inning. Cockerham got the first 2 outs. Allen came on and gets the 3rd out after Autry hits the home run. This is a 1-run game. Got a good one coming down the stretch. Time to stretch here at Durham Field. 6-5 Bears on the Bear Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
stays alive, 0-2. One in the first, 5 in the fourth for the Bears. That's been the theme of the day. Big innings. They had 4 big innings. They only scored in 4 innings in the first game and had 16 runs. 2 in the second, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh for Goldey-Beacom. Been a little bit more spread out for the Lightning in this one. But a good chance of the leadoff man on here in the seventh for LR to add to their total. And this one's thrown away. Well, not thrown away. Missed by Musi. Second time that Attiles has drawn a poor throw there while he's at first base. And he moves up on the E3. So after we had a pretty good first 2 games, sloppiness-wise, but here today, 5 combined errors. 3 for the Lightning and 2 for the Bears. Now a man in scoring position as the Bears try to answer the Lightning run here in the seventh. Time is called. And Jump will replace the baseball. Only 2 pitchers used in this game for the Goldey-Beacom Lightning. Guerreri and Jump, who is now into his 3rd inning of work. He's thrown 44 pitches in relief. The 0-2 to Mackey. Grounded left side. Fowler down to a knee. Looks back at Attiles and throws Mackey out. So Attiles moves up to second on the error by Musi. Mackey's not able to get him to third. See if David Bell can here now with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Just remember, they didn't play the 7th inning stretch. They didn't play Take Me Out to the Ball Game. What kind of place is this? Don't take me out to the ball game. Goodness gracious. Bell behind the fastball from Jump, who has been really good. All 6 of the Bear runs charged to Guerreri, the starter. And in 2 2/3, 3 strikeouts, scattered 3 hits for Tyler Jump. So had a good 2021 and off to a great start in 22. Bell off the end of the bat to first base. The runner will move up as Musi gobbles it up just before it spins into foul ground. So now it's up to Brett Urey with 2 outs to get this insurance run in for the Bears. Brett's 0 for 3, reached on an error fly-out ground out. Had an RBI single and a pinch hit roll in Game 1. Trying to provide a big knock here in a much closer game. Ball 1 upstairs. Attiles led things off here in the 7th with a single. Moved up to second on the throwing error, but since then, Urey provides the big knock. The 9-hitter gets the job done with 2 outs. That is how you answer right there. Back to a 2-run game. Second RBI of the day for Brett Urey. And that is a big one that gives the Bear pitching staff a little bit of breathing room here with 6 outs to go as they try to sweep Goldey-Beacom in this doubleheader today. Top of the order now, Kuda up. Single and a double for Wade. Kuda takes that strike right at the top of the zone. Not a pitch you can do a whole lot with there. Good little slider from Jump. But so far, the theme of this LR season has been timely hitting from anyone in the lineup. But obviously, Kuda and Ynesta have grabbed the headlines with the eye-popping numbers to start. But Yuri, Atiles, Laskowski, Bell, Clarno, Perino, I mean, all of those guys at one point or another in big situations so far this season have gotten the job done. And that is a really good sign for Chris Ramirez and company moving forward as the games only get more challenging and important from here. The runner goes, the pitch is slapped down the right field line, perfectly executed. Yuri digging, they're going to send him. The throw coming from right field from Griffith is cut off. Perfect execution, and Kuda, I said last at-bat I've run out of words. And it's just miraculous at this point. Third hit of this second game. That one was a slider or changeup that was away from him with the runner in motion. Perfect 1-1 count, hit and run that Kuda slapped over Musie's head, fair by 3 feet down the right field line. And with Yuri already on the move, he was able to get home. It's just really good baseball. Laskowski in the dirt. Kuda, good read, moves up. So Yuri gets the big hit to drive Atiles in, and Kuda gets an equally big hit to drive Yuri in. Seven out of the 8 Bear runs in this game have come with 2 outs. The only one that wasn't with 2 outs was the first one. Sacrifice fly by Perino back in the first, but the bases clearing double by Perino in the fourth, and then the RBI single by Atiles, all with 2 outs. Everything that's happened here has been with 2 outs as Laskowski shoots that one foul outside the Bear bullpen down the left field line. Cole started 3 for 3 today. And struck out in his last at-bat, but has 2 runs scored. And now it's still good for the Bear bullpen because they can pitch with a little less anxiety with a 3-run lead versus a 1-run lead. But it's also not as big of a lead as they were pitching with in the first game, so a good balance between pressure and cushion. 3-1. Slap the other way again. Foul. This one bounces in play off of the bullpen fence. Full count on Laskowski. Jumps giving up 3 with 2 outs, and now walks Laskowski with Ynesta coming up. Talk about a good table setter. Laskowski has set up the sticks in the lineup behind him perfectly today. And this seems to be Jump's game to finish because there is not a soul stirring in the Goldey-Beacom bullpen. Lots of action down in the Bear bullpen. Isaiah Nunez, the assistant pitching coach down there holding court. Now Ynesta. Walked twice. RBI single in the fourth. Looking for another big knock here to stretch this lead even further. Chopper left side, tough play, and he's safe. Maxwell couldn't get to it. Probably the only chance Goldey-Beacom had there was if Fowler, the third baseman, cut it off, and he did not. So Yanesta has 2 RBI infield singles in this game. And the Bears answer the Autry home run with a 3-spot here in the bottom of the 7th. 13th hit of the game for LR. Clarno trying to get his first of the night. 0 for 2 with 2 walks for Nick. Takes a strike on the corner. But Jump is historically a starter, so he's used to having longer outings. That was pitch number 66 that he's thrown in 3 innings thus far tonight. Using him in a relief role here, but basically the same load as a start as Clarno missiles one right at the fence on the Goldey-Beacom side. Everyone jumps out of the way, but good thing there's a fence there because somebody's toe would have been black and blue if that ball hit it. $25 runs today for the Bears in 2 games. Not even 2 games. A game in 7 innings. The 0-2 pitch to Clarno. Scooped out by Autry. Laskowski at second, Yanesta at first. Clarno at the dish. They shade him slightly towards left center field. In center field, that's Johnson out there. The 1-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. Great pitch from Jump. Got Clarno lunging after it. And the side is retired. But more 2-out damage done for the Bears. They get 3 and open up a 4-run lead as we head to the 8th. Down the stretch we come on the Bear Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Top of the 8th, new arm for the Bears. Ben Friebel, third appearance of the season, inning in 2/3. Only one hit allowed, no runs. Been the closer in the past for the Bears. Had 6 saves in 2020. He was the closer in 2020 before COVID obviously ended that season. 15 games last year, 3 saves, 15 in a third innings pitched. This is his first home appearance. Appeared twice in the Emmanuel series last weekend down in Georgia. Baginski is ahead 2-1. Was a JUCO transfer originally in 2020 from Southeastern Community College. This one's chopped left side. Fair territory for Ynesta. Perfect throw as Friebel took a dive on the mound to stay out of Ynesta's way. 1 up, 1 down, 5 outs away. Friebel's from North Dakota, Jamestown, ND. It's a long way from home here in Hickory. I'm starting to think that means that it's Jamestown, North Carolina, instead of North Dakota. I think it might be a typo on our roster. Either way, Lindsey's down 0-2 as Friebel's throwing darts out of the pen. And it looks like at this point the last 2 innings will belong to him as nobody's up and seriously throwing in the Bear bullpen. Two up, 2 down. Lindsey strikes out for the 3rd time in a row. And he is now 0 for 8 today. Strikeouts continuing to pile up. 13 of them in this game for the Bears. Griffith takes the ball low, who I can guarantee you, Dalen Griffith, for the rest of his baseball career, no matter how long it is, will never miss a base again after he missed home plate earlier and cost Goldey-Beacom a run and cost them a chance to continue their rally in the 2nd inning. 1-2. Complete darkness now in Hickory as the sun is set. Things have really chilled out here. So it was near 70 degrees for a lot of the afternoon when the sun was up, but I would guess in the high 50s now. Friebel makes quick work of Goldey-Beacom in the top of the 8th. Impressive outing for Ben. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Bears by 4 on the Bears Sports Network.
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
Jump still working, bottom of the 8th, trying to keep this a 4-run game. Facing Perino, Attiles, and Mackey, but the importance for Jump to keep this game 9-5 cannot be overstated, because a 4-run deficit is already tall, but anything more than that is pretty unrealistic for Goldey-Beacom to come back from in the 9th inning. So lots of work to do on a good outing already for Jump out in relief. 1-1 on Perino. Sack fly RBI, 3-run double, pair of strikeouts for Anthony in this one. To start at first base in both games of today's doubleheader. And lines this one to center field. Johnson comes in and it gets past him all the way to the wall. Perino digging. He'll at least have 3. Maybe they'll send him home. Anthony loses his hat and stops at third. Definitely was going to be a base hit. And Johnson, too late, realized he needed to pull up and play it off the hop. And he was too close to it, and it skipped right past him. So a hit for Perino, and I would think an error to advance him to third. But the Bear rally in the 8th actually starts today, in this inning rather, before 2 outs. 8 out of the 9 runs in this game for LR have come with 2 outs. Attiles flies this one in foul ground out of play as Perino tagged up. Let's see what we've scored this. Well, they say Johnson didn't touch it, so it's just a regular old triple. So Perino, a double, sac fly, and a triple today. But Johnson, obviously, the misplay there in center field that allowed it. Attiles off the end of the bat, foul. Guys giving Coach Riz at first base some flack down there for not getting in front of that ball and jumping out of the way. Infield is mostly in. They're just behind the baseline for Goldey-Beacom. And it doesn't matter because Attiles lines the ball to right center field for a base hit. He's going for 2, and the throw is in time. They got him. But it's an RBI either way as Perino comes home. Attiles cannot believe the call. Looked like the ball beat him there, and a good play by Maxwell to get his body back there for the tag. So the second RBI and 4th hit of the game for Attiles. But a nice job in the outfield to get that ball in quickly enough to get Attiles. Looked like he needed to unhitch the wagon there a little bit between first and second. I don't think he got a really great turn, so it took him a while to get his weight going towards second base. As Hogan Stallings, who had a pinch hit RBI in Game 1, gets another pinch hit here for Matt Mackey. That was Stallings' first at-bat of the year that he singled at. The Bears get that all-important insurance run to get into double digits for the second straight game. Bears last year under 500 at home, 10-11. They were 13-6 on the road, so it's kind of an anomaly that Bears were worse at home than they were on the road last year. And the Bears scored double-digit runs 13 times last year in 41 games. That's a high percentage. And they were 13-0 in those games. And barring some miraculous comeback for Goldey-Beacom in the ninth, they're going to be 2-0 today in double-digit scoring games. 2-2 on Stallings in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Jump bounces back with a strikeout. 2 gone. So now David Bell, who hit the grand slam in the first game, 0 for 4 in the second game. Did do a job moving a runner last time, the ground out. Jump loses command there. 4-1. This one's popped up in no man's land, straightaway center field. Johnson comes in and it drops. And David Bell has got a double out of it. That is a very unconventional double for David Bell. We've had a triple and a double in this inning for the Bears on what probably should have been 2 singles or maybe even 2 outs. But the center fielder Johnson has not exactly had a great defensive half inning. Brett Urey had a huge RBI base knock last time up. Takes a strike. Good slider from Jump, who has battled hard. Hasn't been helped by his defense this inning. Or the whole night. Goldey-Beacom has committed 3 errors in this game. Go back to the Perino double that was just over the bag that really kind of changed things here in this game. Scott Metzler on to close things out here for the Bears. Not a save opportunity because of the lead, but it'd be good to see some confidence boost for Scott after he wasn't able to protect the 1-run lead on Tuesday night here against Barton. Bears still able to win that game on the heroics from Perino and Houston on the mound, who came in and just completely closed the door. Metzler, who definitely a two-way player, but this is what he struggled with on Tuesday, was his command. Had some walks, gave up an untimely hit, and he's a flamethrower, but flamethrowers are only effective when they're throwing strikes. The 1-1 is outside, 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 pitch, way out of control there, 3-1. 9-1 and 2 coming up here in the top of the 9th. Fowler, Johnson, Maxwell. So the Bears will not get through this without seeing Maxwell one more time. And the 3-1 is ball 4. So I think 3 out of those 4 balls got past Clerno. So Derek Beasley will quickly make a quick jog out to the mound. I don't know if the camera caught that, but Fowler wasn't to first base yet, so obviously you can't call time until the runner's there. And I hope the camera caught it so we can clip Derek Beasley doing a run in place right on the foul line. Very silly. Top of the order now, Demetrius Johnson, who I'm sure is looking to redeem himself after he had a real big struggle in the bottom of the 8th inning in center field defensively. Let that ball get past him for a triple. Let a ball land in front of him for a double. So maybe some redemption here for Demetrius. So Fowler at first base has walked twice. Johnson at the plate has walked twice. So I'm sure if you were looking for a criticism of the Bear pitching staff, it's the walks. There's a strike at the knees. 1-1. After tomorrow, LR has a home midweek against Limestone. Obviously, Limestone's in the sack. 1-2 on Johnson, as that one's called at the knees. It's a non-sack game. The only games that count as sack conference games are the ones that take place on the weekends, like the specific weekends. So sack teams will play midweeks against each other. That won't count for standings purposes in the sack. Bears doing that with Limestone, with Queens. Also USC Aiken, they're not in the sack, but same deal. Still have to go to Barton in a midweek. Barton team that's going to beat some people in Conference Carolinas this year. You mark my words. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Metzler gets the command back there and strikes out Johnson for the first out of the 9th. Another 15 strikeout game for Goldey-Beacom. They've now struck out 45 times in 3 games, 15 in each game. That is a lot of strikeouts. And I understand, it's the first series of the season, but still, that's too many if you want to win competitive games. Touch low there to Maxwell, who struck out last time, but walked double, hit a ball on the screws to Laskowski at second base in the 5th to line out, and then struck out. The 1-0. Hack and a miss, 1-1. Kuda shades the other way. in center field, which is smart because Maxwell has 2 extra base hits today. They had a ball go out of the Bear bullpen into the field of play down there, so Isaiah Nunez had to run out there and get it. So he got the Bronx cheer from the dugout. 1-1 to Maxwell. Way upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Bears have hit 4 doubles in this game. 4 out of the 16 hits have been doubles. Goldey-Beacom's hit 2 home runs in this game. LR has hit 0. Maxwell wisely lays off. 3 balls and a strike. Metzler trying to avoid his second walk of the inning. And he does on that pitch. 3-2. Scott Metzler trying to get his mojo back on the mound. Doesn't quite have it there. As Maxwell is walked for the second time and aboard for the third time. And Autry, who went deep, like way deep, the last time he came up, gets another chance here in the ninth with 2 on and 1 out. Metzler, who showed up here in Hickory, I think more being expected to have a larger role at the plate, which I still think is the case, has been experimented with in this role in the ninth inning. Obviously, in the 1-run game, gave up the tying run. Did have a save in the Emmanuel series, so it's been a mixed bag. It hasn't been all negative in this role for Metzler. He has had a good amount of success as well. I'm sure he would love more than anything to put his 0 up on the board and hold this thing to a 10-5 ball game. 1-1 delivery. Way high again. 2-1. Bears trying to secure a series win against Goldey-Beacom, who, according to the Collegiate Baseball Writers ranking, is number 14 in the country. And now it's 3-1. There is an arm ready in the Bear bullpen if things go south. I think it might be Houston. It is. 3-1. 2 on, 1 out. Ball 4. So Metzler has walked the bases loaded, and I would think, and maybe I'm wrong, that this will be the end for him, but I am wrong. It is not the end for him. Cleanup hitter at the plate in Musey with 3 walks, 1 to Fowler, the 9-man who's at third base. Maxwell's at second. Autry at first. Strikeout to Johnson mixed in. But Musey, who already has a 2-run homer in this game, can make it a 1-run game with 1 swing as that one's up in his kitchen. Leans out of the way for ball 1. That's why these insurance runs late in the game for the Bears are so important for this exact situation. Down and away. 2 balls and no strikes on Garrett Musey, who outside of the home run also has a single. but then was thrown out trying to steal second base. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. 2-0. Finds the inside corner for a called strike one. Meitzler fighting. His teammates in the dugout are certainly behind him. Infield back. Bears conceding these runs. This one is crushed. Left field. Yuri going back at the wall. It is a one-run game. Musi goes yard for the second time. What did I say about the importance of the insurance runs? Well, case in point. And now the day ends for Metzler. But it's not, you talk about rallies in baseball. You hate when, not that you hate it, but when you're down 3 and hit a 2-run home run, or in this case, when you're down 5 and hit a grand slam, now you got to restart the rally. So with 1 out, Goldey-Beacom has 2 outs to work with to get 1 run, which, of course, you want the grand slam in that situation from Musi, but now it makes things more difficult because you have to basically hit the reset button and act like it's a 1-run game, which it is. So Houston will come on. He pitched a little bit in the first game. Third of an inning, struck out the one man he faced. And overall this year, he's got 2 innings and 5 strikeouts. So 5 of the 6 outs he's recorded have been strikeouts. And it feels like, and this is maybe an opinion of mine, that Houston needs to be the guy in this situation moving forward. So 2-homer day for Grant Musi. 6 RBIs, 6 out of the 9 runs for Goldey-Beacom in this game, driven in by Musi. But those 2-out hits by Atsiles, by Yuri, by Perino, by Bell, it's just goes to show you how important every at-bat is in a game. Because without that, the Bears would be behind right now. Connor Meganson digs in. 1 out, bases empty. Bears up 1. This has turned into a pressure situation that I think Chris Ramirez probably secretly likes. Meganson floats one into the gap for a base hit. First pitch, Houston throws, gets sent back to right center field, and now the tying run is on. The go-ahead run is coming to the plate. So the 3 walks by Metzler come in on the grand slam by Musi. And then Houston is met by Meganson with a single. His 5th hit of the day. We have a pinch hitter. It's Braden Coleman'sberger for Goldey-Beacom. This is a big spot to have a pinch hit. Colmansberger, the freshman from Lewisberry, Pennsylvania. Ball one. This is his first collegiate at bat. What a spot for this. For Colmansberger, 6'3", 170-pound infielder. Won the 2019 5A state championship and was the runner-up in 2021. Check the swing, fouls it back. That was at Redland High School in Pennsylvania. Megginson on first as the tying run. Houston throws over. What a game it's been. 1 in the first for the Bears, 5 in the fourth, 3 in the seventh, 1 in the eighth. Those 4 runs in these late innings for LR, especially the one in the eighth that Perino was able to start with the triple. Attiles drove him in. This one's in the dirt. Clarno picks it up, and moving up to second is Megginson. Clarno says, we're good, we're good. Tying run 180 feet away. 2 in the second for Goldey-Beacom, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh, and 4 in the ninth. The last 7 runs coming from home runs. 2 by Musi, 1 by Autry. Colmansberger at the plate, 2 balls and a strike. The pitch. Strike 2 on the corner. That's a pitcher's pitch right there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both dugouts making a ton of noise. Tense situation. Full count. Good eye by Colmansberger not to chase after the high cheese. This has turned into a really entertaining game, too. Megginson at second. Houston takes a breath, brings the 3-2. Lifted left field. This will stay in the park. Kuda glides over into the gap, makes the catch. Megginson tags and will make it to third safely. So a job done by Colmansberger, who moves the runner up. And now the tying run is 90 feet away for Goldey-Beacom, with Adam Slavin pinch hitting. So Kuda makes a good play to run that ball down in the gap. And now Adam Slavin, who started game 1 at third base, hasn't played in game 2 so far, has a chance to drive in the tying run. 2 outs in the ninth. First pitch, strike 1, right down the middle. Bears led 10-5 coming into this half inning. A grand slam from Musi brought it within 1. The 0-1. Strike 2. Outer half. 0-2, and Slavin can't believe it. Houston getting words of encouragement from his teammates. Played 17 2/3 innings. Been here for 7.5 hours. 1-2. The LR bullpen had such problems last year closing out games. Houston trying to change that narrative here. 2-2. These at-bats down the stretch have been strong for Goldey-Beacom. LR coaching staff adjusting the defense. The 2-2 coming from Houston. Swing and a miss! He got him on strikes! And the sweep is complete. Get your brooms out. Bears take 2 today from Goldey-Beacom. Things got nerve-wracking there at the end, but the Bears had enough offense late to hold on. They score 26 runs in 2 games and grab, at worst, a series win from Goldey-Beacom. And we'll try to complete the 4-game sweep tomorrow afternoon. Final score, Lenoir-Rhyne 10, Goldey-Beacom 9. For all of our Bears Sports Network crew, Eric Bach, grateful you stuck with us till the end for a Bear doubleheader sweep over the number 14 team in the country. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon for the finale of this 4-game series. For now, good night from Hickory.